Okay, so hello and welcome back to something a little different. I'm making a tier list of all the Sith in the game, and the way that it'll be ranked is based off of how well they work with the Sith faction and, modding, relics, all that sort of fun stuff and all that. But, yeah, it's not going to be, it's going to be based off of my personal thoughts and all that on it, but it's not going to be the comprehensive, it has to be this way, that way kind of thing, because the two of them are so synchronized kit-wise, with her being able to spread fear, him, running off of the fear, Malak running off of the fear as well. The original Sith Empire trio is really good, it's just if you break them apart, they don't stand on their own as much, so that's why I think she would be B. She's not really lower, like C or lower and all that, but like, it's just on her own. She could do well, but whenever she's with Revan and Malak, she's an A tier character. If that makes any sort of sense. If that makes any sense in the long run.
For me, it's strange because she has that force bond with Revan.
Yeah.
And then she has, is it the unique where it's the battle meditation?
Let's see. Battle meditation cannot be dispelled. Sith apprentice. Revan leadership.
Yeah. So allows immune to all debuffs during any ability used by an enemy with corrupted battle meditation.
So if they do have the corrupted battle meditation, that means they can't stun potentially.
So Jedi Knight Luke can't stun them if he's got corrupted battle meditation or they have it. I don't even know who corrupted battle meditation goes on.
Everyone. Let's see. Doubled for non-Jedi.
All enemy. Yeah. Okay, so it's the enemy who's.
Yeah, it's the enemies.
Got corrupted.
It's basically the inverse of Bastila Shan's battle meditation.
Well, that's the annoying thing because depending on which Bastila Shan goes first is whose battle meditation works. And it used to be such a headache.
Well, that's also the thing is both the Bastilas have different base speeds. Like she's faster as a Sith.
Yeah.
And she's a Jedi.
But does Bastila Shan Fallen get a speed bonus or not?
Yeah.
Because I know Jedi Knight Revan gives a speed bonus, but
they get this.
Darth Revan is based off ferocity.
Yeah. Let's just pull up Revan real quick. Now that we're thinking about it, let's see. Revan. Yeah, they gain speed while they're debuffed. Oh no. Yeah. For each of their own debuffs. So, if they have ferocity on them in the first place, which they should, correct? Let's see. Excluding that, I honestly can't remember. But depending on if they get debuffed anyways, they'll give her more speed. And for example, my Bastila is 322, so yeah.
You're just a horrible person in GAC, man.
I am.
322, it's like,
oh yeah, also
leave me alone.
No, here's the thing, they also gain 5 stacks at the beginning anyways with Revan as a leader, so
that was part of each Sith Empire, but they have to gain the turn. Yeah, so for that split first turn, it is which Bastila Shan's going to go first, because if Bastila Shan normal goes first, then they won't be infected with corrupted battle meditation. Yeah. So it is that race.
But it's also a race of whose Bastila is fastest, like you said. So, but
yeah, that's what I mean.
So
but it's unlikely light side Bastila is going to be faster. So B tier is probably the right call.
Yeah, because, okay, let's look at my Bastila's mods. Anyways, like 24, 25, 25. That could be better. 25, yeah. I could make her faster, but, that would also take away from other characters. But yeah, B tier, outside of the original Sith Empire trio, she's not horrible, but she's not great. But with them, she's a bordering S tier, depending on the lineups. Count Dooku is D.
E.
He's garbage. Relegate. We have Relegate because of Lord Vader, right? He hits like a wet noodle. This is with the Sith, okay? With the Sith, he's not bad. He's got shock, he's got stun, he's got ability block. The problem is he's as frail as a piece of wheat in the wind. He cannot take damage. he is not good. He needs something. He needs a proper rework. I cannot stress how useless he is at times. He can be good with the right teams, yeah. Like with Trench, he'll probably be great. With the Datacron, sure, even better. But he is frail. He needs something. So,
Ginge, I have to disagree because I've seen Count Dooku kick my ass so many times in LSGO or Conquest.
Yeah, this is Conquest and Geo.
There is a good version of Dooku,
but we don't have him. We don't have him. Our version is like the watered down Walmart version. We don't got the Costco high end version, you know.
Is Costco high end?
It's better than Sam's, which is also run by Walmart. So I'm speaking somewhat from experience.
He is like a glass cannon.
He
doesn't start in stealth, right? He's like out in the open.
No, he's out in the open. Unless, I believe if you run him with a Separatist team. With a Separatist team, he's even better. But like with a Sith team, there's like with C, he's okay. With, not with Sith Empire. Lord Vader, you can do some stuff. With Maul, Darth Maul, you can do some stuff. But with Sith as a whole, no, he's not good. I mean, I will give it to him. His Force Lightning is really great because, you know, you can shock and potentially stun another person, which is amazing, outside of your main target. Flawless Ripazay, I think, is the problem. It needs something to make him... I don't know. It is just the way he's made in the game is the problem. He's very squishy.
He has potential, I think, to be irritating. If you don't deal with him fast and he gets under stealth and you've got a Galactic Republic team, he can bypass your protection, right?
With the Ripazay up, yeah.
Yeah. But then it's when it's out of turn attacks, and the problem is he's so squishy, you kind of don't want him to get hit.
I mean, even his out of turn attacks, he can ability block you and stun with like a 50% chance of stunning you and ability blocking, which cannot be countered or evaded, so it helps him a little bit, but he cannot go above C for me. He's just... The one we have is no. Absolutely not.
Is there potential for him to work for Savage? Because they look like they would have a good deal together.
If it's under Savage, the Savage lead, yes, because of the defense that Savage gives, absolutely he could. But the problem is you would have to sacrifice like
some good tunes.
Yeah, to make a Savage team work with that, you'd have to do. I mean, you could maybe do it like Sith Trio, Savage, and Dooku maybe. But then you're losing out on Talon's bonuses for the Sith Trio, which is another thing I'm going to have to get into because I hate it. But, yeah, Dooku, just, no. Absolutely not. He's garbage.
Fair enough. Drum roll. Who's next?
Malak. Malak...
A year ago, he's like S tier maybe, or 2 years ago, like, he's annoying and painful. But now...
I feel like he's
He's still good.
It comes down to modding for Malak, let's be completely honest. My Malak is double tenacity defense. I know some people, I'm gonna name drop Aesop here, he does triple tenacity with the same sets, but he does protection on the arrow. Because that's the name of the game with Malak. You need to load him up with protection, because all that protection goes into his health, which then makes him a giant health pool that you have to chip away at, while he slowly chips away at you with the drains, and then he starts juicing himself, and then he's at 3 stacks of that drain, and then you are up a creek without a paddle. Because once he hits it, he gains freaking bonuses, 35% offense per stack, which is...
35%, it's 105.
Yeah. So 105% offense on a guy that also gains 35% crit avoidance, health steal, tenacity, defense, while he has less than that, and it's doubled and tripled if he's down to 25%. So you're running against the clock here, and it's just that dark infusion from the drain life is what makes him a living nightmare to deal with. Now back before Lord Vader and all of them, Oh, he would have been S tier. He was definitely S tier underneath, when, like, right whenever he came out with Darth Revan and Bastila Shan Fallen. They were the nightmare team. I can see why he was S tier then, but now he's A tier just because power creep has happened. There are characters that can immediately nuke him, like Mando, if they get the turn order right.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
So he is extremely good still, but he used to be top tier nightmare fuel.
I think back in the day, I think this is when CG started to play their games with people. Because if you remember his release, it was...
Oh my god, that was a nightmare, dude. Because we had... This was like, what was it, a month or two after Revan had dropped? Darth Revan had dropped?
I'm not even sure if it was 2 months.
It was ridiculously short because we had hardly any time to gear them up and get them unlocked and then turn around and get prepared for this event. That was a nightmare to balance out because you had to kill a Jedi in a certain order. Because if you did it wrong, he would siphon off those abilities from them or whatever it was.
Ginge, you're missing out valuable parts of the story. So what happened was everyone knew Darth Revan was coming. Yeah. And everyone unlocked him. And he was good, but he wasn't like trashing Jedi Knight Revan. Jedi Knight Revan could still dunk on him.
Yeah,
like,
he needed Malak.
It was an even battle. And then, I think it was a month later, maybe a month, even exaggerating, it felt so soon because he comes really soon after Darth Revan. And it's a new type of event. It's a limited event. It's a 3-day event, and it's over the weekend. And if you didn't get him then, you weren't getting him. And then the thing on top of that was, it was currency.
He dropped on April the 12th of 2019. I'll look at Darth Revan real quick.
So almost 3 years. But he dropped, and you had to use get currency to get his shards.
We didn't have a lot of it.
So you'd get him at 5. Was it a few weeks?
No, yeah, it wasn't even a full month.
Yeah.
And forgot how bad that was.
Not only did they do that, they had the 3-day weekend event, and you needed gear 12. Correct.
Gear 11 recommended for the dark side. The dark side one was the harder one, though.
It wasn't gear 12. It was power locked, right?
Let me look.
Like, you had to have a power level of, was it 1200?
It was
12,500?
Let's see.
Oh, there you go. Requires the following characters at 17,500.
Power, yeah. Which was, what, back in the day, gear 12 minimum?
And was this before the Zetas came out? So it was like, you had to get them gear 12.
No, we had Zetas, I think.
You had to check on all sorts of abilities to get them there. In fact, it was like such short notice and characters you didn't want to upgrade.
It was 2017 from the looks of it.
But anyway, Malak was where things... It started the turn, in my opinion. It's nothing compared to what things are now.
No.
But at the time, it felt devastating, especially to people who were savvy with saving characters.
Yeah,
got prepared.
It's because of this right here.
Yeah.
3 days to do the event. And if you didn't have all these ready to go, you were shit out of luck.
And you were kind of already exhausted from getting those characters.
Well, getting Darth Revan was...
Darth Revan, at the time...
It was at the time...
He was super OP and broken, but now with Gas and him, they have a nice synergy. Like, Gas's kit counters him because he has no protection, so Gas reduces his health pool.
Yeah.
It's a fun battle, and it is a strategic battle, and I enjoy that. But at the time he came out, it's like he would be the last one standing, and because he gained so much offense, he just started going to town on you.
Yeah.
He took you to pound town.
But that's the thing with Malak. Modding his relics are the key to him now. Like, if you have him modded 150k or higher, reason that all goes to his health. But speed isn't really the biggest thing for him. Speed also is nice, but yeah, I mean,
it's still enough to get him going. If he starts hitting hard enough, you really don't want him taking turns to keep hitting you.
Yeah. Hey, watch out, Thom.
Because 293 speed plus 40 from a Malgus lead, it's like, God. And add to the fact that if you get feared by him, he's almost taking 2 turns for one of your turns.
Yeah, because no, that's the thing too. If you have fear on the board, you have to hit him. So, and that's always been like,
great.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I get to go for the juiciest tank on the field. Great. Thanks, game.
All right, who's next, Ginge?
My boy Malgus. Okay, so I need to preface Malgus with 2 things. And this is where we're starting to get into the conversation of Omnis and who needs them and where they work. So in Grand Arena, he's S tier. The problem will be is now that he doesn't have a Datacron supporting him, I don't know how well he's going to do on defense. And that's what he's built for, is for defense in Grand Arena. So this is 3v3 is going to be an interesting one because with no Datacron directly supporting him, like I said, I don't know how well it would do. 5v5, he's gonna have to be like a back wall team because he needs to stay hidden away so you draw someone out to counter him. Yeah. So in Grand Arena, he's S tier. Everywhere else, I'm gonna go with A tier. But
the problem with Malgus is the fact that the same counter to Darth Revan is the same counter to Darth Malgus.
Yeah.
And you can use the gas 5 first. Don't get me wrong, it's not always a clean battle, and you can lose with
not
gas
in the
against
slightest.
him.
It's not a clean battle.
But it's still the same battle, if that makes sense.
Just longer.
Yeah. It's not like, oh, gas needs another unit to help beef him up to take on Malgus. It's like, no, I can still dunk on Malgus with gas. But it starts to get down to a point where outside of gas, it's a GL, and then outside of that, what else takes him down?
I mean, we discovered if you break it apart, Admiral Raz and Grievous works, but you have to break it apart, and that's the thing.
Breaking it apart can be the difference between winning the round and losing. Like,
exactly.
Breaking it apart can cost you. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
Omnis are precious resources.
They are for now. They're going to become Zetas.
They are for now.
They're going to go to Zeta route eventually, but it takes time to get there.
At the time of this video, they are precious, and it comes down to the fact, do you want to spend those resources on him, or do you want to spend those Omnis on newer characters that are here to dunk on the older ones?
So while we're talking about in the present now, we need to talk about the Fury class Interceptor. You need to have him fully kitted out and all that. And now we can transfer over to mine. And the one that everyone gave me shit about whenever I did it. So whenever we get Malgus, right? I'm like immediately R9, triple on me, all that, and everything. Everyone gave me shit. Now who's laughing? Everyone's gonna fucking balk at my Sith Empire fleet. So here's the thing.
Just like the return. I have returned.
I have been waiting for this for ages. You do not understand. You know personally how much I've worked on my Sith.
We all had the debuff of doubt on us.
Oh yeah.
It happens.
And then you're like, oh, well, this is awkward.
Shinnok's gonna suck if you don't need him at R9.
I don't care. He's gonna make his ship even harder to kill, and that's the thing. We
have to see the ship first.
Yeah, but the ship is definitely a profundity killer just with the kit alone, just with its kit. We don't know about the Leviathan. We don't know about the other whatever else is coming with it. So honestly, S tier is not sounding horrible, but the thing is with Malgus, it comes down to relics and modding for him because. Again, I keep having this conversation with people. Well, what about the arrow? You do crit avoidance. Why don't you do health? I do crit avoidance to make it harder for people to kill him with gas. And most of the time, not all the time, people overkill it with a GL and GAC, which is exactly what I want. Because with the crit avoidance, it makes it harder to kill him. And I have him decently fast and all that. So, you know... Health isn't a bad thing. Health is great. I have 3 other health mods on him. But
so, just to carry on your point, crit avoidance isn't bad because if you look at Gas's kit, he increases your cooldowns on critical hits. Yeah. So the less critically hit you get means the more you can do his Dark Deception move, which hurts.
Oh, Dark Deception is a chef's kiss whenever it's doing because it is a beautiful ability. It's well done. I'm not gonna lie, they did a great job, but I mean, it does it based off of 40% of his max health. So with him, mine being 151, that's not even including his leadership, the boost from Talon, the boost from, his special, unique and all that. So there's a lot of things to go into Malak, making him broken at times.
Who's next on?
Maul. Darth Maul.
Okay. The rubbish one.
Yeah. Darth Maul, I'm gonna put him at C, just because he has more versatility than Dooku, only a tiny bit, because
really
I'm saying the slightest bit, because you can do some rather silly things with him and Savage and Sith Assassin,
like Relic ate him
eventually, but it's more because of the evasion that everyone gets.
What Relic is your one?
4. He hasn't been touched since I pushed him for C, and that's the problem. Even with being Relic 4, he's not. He's like Dooku. He's got not enough survivability. But yeah, what do you think about Maul?
Mate, he doesn't register for me. He was a pain in the ass for like a month. How long was his Zeta reign? Because once R2-D2 came out, he shut that down, and it just felt like a blip.
Yeah.
You'd feel bummed out if you spent a Zeta on that, because R2 just came here and rocked up and was like, nope.
I mean, I could drop him to D. Personally, I like him at C, but D would fit him as well, because him and Dooku have more or less the same issue of just power creep. I mean, Dooku's been reworked somewhat, but he needs...
Has he?
Yeah, he had the leadership and like the Master Makashi rework. Yeah, like that, and the leadership was changed. I don't think his unique was changed or anything, but there was some things changed to Dooku. Maul has not been touched since time immemorial, and that's the problem. He's been power crept. So I'm just gonna drop him a D then. That even made me think about it. It hurts for me to put him there, just because of like growing up watching the prequels. But
right. Next,
the Lord of Hunger himself, Darth Nihilus.
Oh.
So
this is going to be interesting.
This is a difficult one, and it's all based off of his annihilate ability, and that's what he is known for, his annihilate. With it being an 8-turn cooldown from the start, which isn't much nowadays, but it is enough to make him like a B tier character. But with the recent Traya rework, I feel like he's more A tier now, just because of Darth Traya's Ami being a thing.
What I have to ask you though is, he relies solely on another character's Omnicron to be an A tier.
Yeah.
Like, without that Omnicron,
he's B.
He's B tier.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's so hard to put him on the A tier. If Traya's Omnicron still worked like it was working.
Like it was before they nerfed it. Oh my god. That makes me so mad. We gotta put it to where they can't have no dark side DLs because Lord Vader's getting crushed. Fuck off, CG. That was the cheesiest bullshit in existence. That made me fucking furious. Because I immediately, as soon as she got that, I dropped it on her and started using her to nuke Lord Vader. But they're like, oh no, our precious GL's being killed by a non-GL. Ah!
Also, CG, here's Reva.
Oh yeah, fuck Reva. But yeah, I can see where you're coming from with him being B. The thing is, I do agree, with him having to rely on Darth Traya's Ami, which is ridiculous as it is, which I love anyways, but that's besides the point. Yeah, I mean, I can see why he'd be B tier, and I don't really necessarily disagree with you, but with it, he's A tier. If you don't have Darth Traya's Ami, he's B tier. So
I see him like Bastila Shan, where he works really well within that team, and Nihilus works really well within a team.
Yeah.
It's just, he can still work in other teams. Because it used to be like, okay, I need a cheesy way to get through someone, so you take him and Thrawn to keep getting the turns fast.
Yeah, or he's passing it to Nihilus to cycle his cooldowns and all that.
Exactly.
And he starts nuking people, so...
But it just doesn't feel right putting him on the same tier as like a Malak who can start wrecking shop pretty fast. Nihilus, because he can be ability blocked, he can kind of be messed with.
Yes and no, because if Trey is there, that ability block's going away whenever he takes a turn. He can be stunned, which slows him down. So there are ways to slow him down and stop him. But if he takes a turn, if you don't team reduction him to 0, you're going to suffer the consequences pretty quickly. So, yeah, he slid down from being like S tier whenever he released to like A, but he fluctuates between A and B based on if you have the Darth Traya on me. So, yeah.
Would you have preferred the Ravager versus the Leviathan? Like, which one would you have preferred to have had the capital ship? Because I think everyone was convinced.
Both.
Everyone seemed convinced it was Nihilus's ship that was coming.
But then they broadsided us with Darth Revan. I mean, I'm not really... I more view it as like... I understand why they had to do it for gameplay reasons, but I also view it as like... capital ship... Well, not capital ships, even just space fights in Star Wars have not always been a singular capital ship. It's been multiple. It's a fleet for a reason. So it's just gameplay schematics at this point. So
I do like the look of the Ravager though.
Oh yeah, being like busted apart. Yeah,
it's all in pieces, right? It's not clean, and it kind of suits Nihilus. It's got character.
Yeah, it is quite. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Oh no, here it is. Yeah, it's just like busted apart kind of thing. Yeah,
there's something cool about that.
It is a nice looking ship. So it's
they love triangles in Star Wars.
Yeah, they really do. Triangular ships as a whole, they really do. But anyways,
Revan is
Darth Revan. Yep. Oh boy, he would have been S tier back. Wait, if this had been made whenever he released, he would have been S tier immediately.
Would he have been S tier? Like, because to me, I would have put Malak above Revan.
You want me to put Revan at B?
No, what I'm saying,
or you mean like just
Darth Malak and Revan were out at the same time?
Yeah. Oh,
if I had to rate them then, I'd have been putting Malak at S and Darth Revan at A.
Yeah.
Because Malak was the difference between Jedi Knight Revan winning and Jedi Knight Revan getting stomped.
What's the thing about Darth Revan is with him being on the team, you are immune to team reduction, which is great because a lot of teams have team reduction.
While they are debuffed.
Yeah, which can be a problem if you can dispel their debuffs, but most of the time enemies really can't control that. And then the other thing is while they're debuffed, they're gaining 15 speed for each of their debuffs. And on top of that, they're already gaining 5 ferocity at the start of the battle. Or whenever they take a turn. Sorry. But yeah, I don't know. The problem with Darth Revan is he's been somewhat power crept over the years. Way back then, he was really good. Like him and Malak and Bastila Shan Fallen are a nightmare team to deal with in 3v3.
Strong core.
So I'd probably put him at A tier personally, just because he has slipped down the rankings of power, but he's still a very, very, very solid character to work on.
If you're putting him A tier, what sets him above the B tier guys and puts him on the same level as a Malgus and a Malak?
Leadership alone.
But
not just the leadership.
Whose team is he leading at the moment?
Well, that's the problem. He's not leading anyone because of Darth Malgus, but if you flip-flop him and Malgus leads, it's not a horrible thing. I think the problem is because Darth Malgus is shine Darth Revan.
Yeah.
You're more like questioning, well, am I going to do am I going to do a Sith Empire split? And then that leads to a myriad of problems because of the synergies between all the Sith Empire characters, so...
That's the unfortunate thing, isn't it? There doesn't seem to be enough Sith Empire characters to be able to split them. Is there enough?
No, there is not. And I seem to very, very, very vividly remember making a video covering that. Because I did. I tackled this problem at the head, because whenever I made that, I talked extensively about my issues with CG and their lore disregards. because these three four are not of the same Sith Empire. He is of the Eternal Empire, but when I was in, Drummond Koss and all that, yeah. But these three, okay, so here's the thing. Revan and Malak went off to find whatever disturbance in the Force Revan was feeling. Then they ended up finding the Sith Eternal Empire, which is where Malgus is from. So they came back to the known galaxy and made their Sith Empire, brought in all the fallen Jedi, Bastila, Shan fallen, and all the other people, and went to war with the Republic. So that's where all of them come in. And then Malgus came in, I can't remember how long afterwards, and they invaded the known galaxy the Sith Eternal Empire did. So that's my other issue with Sith, is the Sith Empire tag is an umbrella. It needs to be split down the middle. It needs to be Sith Empire, as it is now, and the Sith Eternal Empire. Because we'll get into that more later because of these two bozos down here, and to a lesser extent Marauder. Well, actually, no, those three.
Change. We don't need another division of the Sith Empire.
We do.
No, we don't.
You ask why Revan's being regulated to A or lower? It's because of the Sith Empire tag as it is right now. Because Malgus is taking over. He's going
to show up, and everyone's going to be like, why doesn't Malgus synergize with the Sith Eternal Emperor if he's part of the Sith Eternal Empire?
Well,
he's going to get people asking that question even though it's like...
He's not even... I know, but I know the lore, that's the problem. And that's why I wish they would add more. If they added, like, his Sith Troopers, like Darth Revan and Darth Malak Sith Troopers and Commandos, that would help with their team. That'd make their own team right there. Then you could leave Darth Malgus, Sith Assassin, Sith Empire Trooper, Sith Marauder, and then they need one more. There you go. 2 Sith Empire teams.
I feel like Revan's a B.5, like...
That's a good way of putting it, yeah.
He's just between them, but leave him wherever you want. He just feels like, because his leadership gets taken away, but then he has that synergy where he does the lightning storm, and if he sets that up right, Bastila just goes, zap.
Yep, and then, there goes, like, all my protection. What?
Yeah, if you play it good enough, she zaps the team to death. It's like... There goes half the 501st.
Yeah. It's like, I didn't want the sacrifice now. Okay.
Whoops. Accidentally zapped their team.
Yeah, or like if they land the shock on 5s and kill 5s without getting the sacrifice off, then your whole gas counter's kaput.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel
Thank God I don't do that.
He's like like you said, like a B.5. Like an A- kind of character. He's in the middle, and that's the problem. It's just because Malgus came on the scene and the whole CG being extremely stingy with tags and all that. I know it's gameplay stuff and all that, but it annoys the hell out of me.
Right. Who's next? Who next?
Sidious, the mastermind of the entire, well, I guess, original trilogy.
Should he be on the, like, you haven't got the should have Sith tag removed because he's bringing down the team.
I'm going to be honest. I'm just going to put him here just because I know. Here's the problem with Sidious is his kit. Even with the Omni, I have the Omni. I know you guys give a shit about it. His Omni's great in Territory War, and that's the problem.
He has an Omnicron.
Yeah, it's only Territory War is the problem. It is a Territory War only thing.
God, you're the perfect guild for that.
Yeah, I know, right? And that's the thing, like, and that's why I don't like Omnis. Omnis are good and bad. The problem with his is it's only in Territory Wars. If this was a Zeta upgrade, he would be busted like he is in Secrets and Shadows, because look at it. Whenever he uses Demoralizing Blows, the cooldown of the ability is reduced by 1 for each other Sith ally, and Darth Sidious gains 50 speed stacking for 4 turns.
And wow, so he's just spamming that.
He's spamming it like he does in Secrets and Shadows. But we don't have that one. We have this somewhat okay at times character, but garbage most of the time because his Omni is only Territory War, so...
I do love how he's modeled after the Clone Wars version.
Yeah.
like with his spinning attack. I always thought that was pretty cool.
I think they went with that straight out of the fight with him between Maul and Savage and him.
Yeah.
Like the animations and all that, which is really cool. I'm not going to lie, that was a really cool fight. But the one we have in game is garbage because we know he's the master manipulator. He's a very, very strong Sith Lord. But one we have is garbage. I mean, the thing is with Sidious, you basically just load him up with potency, because with his I mean, he gains max health based off his potency. And he gains 50% anyways, so with my 147, almost 148% on top of the 50, he's at 197 max health added. So
he's actually not that slow either. He starts at 181 speed. That's quite fast.
I mean, you can make him faster, yeah, but there are better characters to put a speed on than him at the moment.
That's the problem, though, isn't it? For such a fast character, you sort of like, he's trash. I don't want to make him fast.
Yeah, he needs like he needs a kit touch up like they did Dooku, but make him above Dooku in terms of capabilities, I think.
Okay, so that's enough of Sidious.
Yeah. Sion.
Sion's tricky because he's won me some Mon Mothma or Geo battles because his AoE just tanks them all.
Yeah. The problem with Sion is he heavily relies on the other two Sith trio.
Well, Sion initially when they came out, Sion was a bad man.
Mm-hmm.
Like
because of if he hits, what was it, 15 things of hatred. What was it? Whenever he inflicts pain, whenever he hit that 0 mark and he got hatred, he was a monster because, then you have to kill him again. And if he gets it down to 0 again and gets hatred, you got to do it again. So it was kind of like an endless cycle if you didn't kill him fast enough. So.
And then he just started to hit hard.
Yeah.
And because he had to regain his protection.
Yeah. And also the thing is, held by hatred is reduced by 1 whenever you critically hit Traya or Nihilus. And it's a 15-turn cooldown, so if you start crit hitting them, and Sion takes a turn, and where did the hatred come from?
Exactly. But
so, outside of the Sith trio team, he is a C-tier character because he heavily relies on the other two.
I would say even in the Sith trio team, I would say he's C-tier.
Yeah, he's not the strongest one out of the 3.
I've been using the trio with Savage, and Savage does a better job of Sion's job than Sion.
And that's the thing with Sion. Even as a tank, he's not like super tanky. Like we can look at mine. Like he's Relic 5, yeah, but like that's what's even 2 things of health mods and tenacity set. He's only got 87k protection.
But I would say that's balanced.
Yeah. It is somewhat balanced.
Back to Sion. Was there anything else you want to add?
I'm going to backtrack to what I said about Amis. I wish he had one, but if he doesn't get one, cool. It would be nice if he did, just to make him a little bit better. Just so he's not like the bottom of the Sith trio lineup, but I mean...
Well, I think that's where his place is, though, isn't it? In the trio, like Traya at the top.
Yeah, being the teacher.
Nihilus second. Yeah. Sion second. Well,
I mean, gameplay wise, him and Sion were like always the second, like the lieutenants. So the 2 of them being equal in power, him not being able to die, Nihilus being able to consume the Force on entire planets and systems. So
it would have been an interesting matchup to see those 2.
Oh, fight?
Yeah.
I don't know how that would have gone, honestly, but
you assume Nihilus would win because, just consume the Force from him. I think he's okay. He's an obvious weak point that you can get around.
Mm-hmm. Well,
he's capable.
Well, that's subjective beatable right now because of the next character we're going to cover.
Okay.
Talon. I have a lot I don't like about the way CG made her kit, but with the way it is right now, with her working with the Sith trio, which shouldn't be a thing in the first place, she's a very solid B tier character. And
I just hate how much water I have to consume when Talon's around. I don't know what it is.
It's like,
but
I get really hot and sweaty whenever I start thinking about her.
Yeah, I just have to start opening up a bottle of water and be like...
And the thing is like, even whenever CG revealed her, like, yeah, we had to, like, pick one of the least sexualized, like, designs for her, because if we didn't, it'd be very, provocative, I guess would be the best way to describe her. But
also CG, we're going to release alternative kits for people, and we're going to start with Darth Talon.
Yeah. So, Darth Talon, my problem with her is her second unique. With it being, like, working with isolating pain and tandem of one another, you know? I don't like that. I fucking
How's this
hate
work?
it. So, if an enemy is inflicted with isolate or pain, she gains additional effects. Whenever Darth Talon defeats an enemy, they gain max health, protection, and offense based for each stack of loyal hand on her. Isolate, Darth Talon's attacks lowered cooldown of Dark Frenzy by 1, which is this one. It's her AoE. I said that really weird. Her AoE, if I could pronounce it. And then she gains 2 stacks of it. With pain is inflicted, Dark Frenzy inflicts buff immunity on all enemies for 2 turns. Her attacks recover all allies' health equal to 50% of damage dealt, doubled for Darth Sion. And then there's 20 bonus speed stacking to 200 and another stack of loyal hand. So, and that's also all on top of the fact that Sith allies as a whole, Sith Empire, gain max health, offense, and flat 20 speed. And whenever she falls below 100% health, Sith tanks gain retribution and so on for a turn, which is an automatic, I gotta go over to Sion, or I gotta go to Set, or whatever tank you have on the team.
My eyes just started to glaze over.
It is a lot.
I was like, what is happening here?
It is a lot. Also, there's more. That's the Sith's cruelty unique. That's not proven loyalty. They gain turn meter whenever the leader's damaged. Cool. The first time they would be defeated, I believe is supposed to be the leader, or just allies. They dispel all buffs. They recover 100% health, gain a turn, 100% team. Talon gains 3 stacks of loyal hand, loses 50% health, gains stealth, and then she can't be, killed by it. And then Darth Frenzy's cooldown is refreshed to 0 when she can use it. So, Darth Frenzy. I keep saying Darth, but my problem with her is the fact that she has such heavy synergy with the Sith trio. These 4 characters were alive millennia apart, CG. I get why you did it. It's because of gameplay. But motherfuckers, you need to read the lore. Bring in Darth Crate. I know you're planning on it because you're teasing Asajj Ventress. Just fucking release them. I don't like that Talon works so well with the Sith trio. It pisses me off. It just makes me unhinged because they did it. Is it a bad idea gameplay wise? No, it's great. But does it make me mad lore wise? Fuck yes, it does.
You know what's problematic? Is they're going to have to give a Darth Crate pain,
isolate.
Fine
by me. Fuck it. Do it. I don't care.
So that her kit works with him? Because if he doesn't have those things, you just wonder, well, how are you going to take... Because that's an expensive Omnicron, and you think, ooh, do I take her away from...
Sith trio?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Or do
you sandwich in...
man fit in with them?
Yeah. That is...
How'd you design it, basically?
That is a gameplay design issue they're going to have to tackle eventually, because they've already teased Asajj Ventress whenever they were talking about the Tusken Chieftain and Warrior. So, and I believe, if I'm remembering my lore correctly, he was his father. And he was a Tusken Jedi. So, it was a weird thing anyways, but, yeah. What do you think of Talon? Also, the other issue with Talon is she's an attacker, and she hits like a support. Well, no, she is an attacker and hits like she hits weaker than Bastila Shan does, and Bastila is a support.
I was gonna say, killing anyone with Talon always surprises me.
It's like, whoa, wait. But that's the other thing, like, she starts boosting herself with Loyal Hand, because she gains 10% offense for each stack of it. So if she gets up to
it takes her so long to use Dark Frenzy.
Well, I mean, you also get the stacks from the stupid Omni, so
yeah,
it is a very yeah. But I mean,
is her Omnicron worth it?
Yes.
Okay.
Just for the fact that it helps her gain more stacks of loyalty. Sith allies are gaining health. Not health. I keep saying health. Protection and offense. And the fact that you gain an additional 20 speed on her for the rest of the encounter, that keeps stacking to 200, sign me up.
So is the team her,
Sith Trio,
Traya, okay, Sith Trio, her,
Savage,
and is that it? That's an expensive Omnicron team, though. Is there anything else on Talon you want to speak about, or are we going to the...
Give me Darth Crate, you fucking pieces of shit.
Lord of Betrayal?
Just gonna be an interesting one. With the Omni active, before it was nerfed S tier, now A tier.
Fair enough. Can't disagree with that. She brings an entire team together.
Yeah.
She fits the leader role. She doesn't even have to be in the leader role.
Nope.
Like, her Omnicron works with a Nihilus lead.
Yeah, it's a unique, yeah.
Yeah.
But it is better with her as the lead because of the fact that she gains protection every time she's hit as a leader, if I believe correctly. Let's see. Also, the crit avoidance and potency is nice. And, you know, whenever enemies use an ability outside their turn, they're taking damage equal to 35% of their max health. So, I mean, that's nice as well. But if her Omni was still the way it was, S tier.
Okay. She has some powerful parts for kit, though. I love her Isolate. I love her triple blade attack. When that hits, it hits.
It can hit hard. It is. It can hit like a freight train if you're not paying attention.
And the basics even nice for the days. I like the days.
And also, it's reducing the cooldowns of Saber Storm by 1, which is only a 4-turn. It's only a 4-turn cooldown anyway. So, and if she's inflicting debuffs, I mean the days can be resisted, but yeah. Yeah.
Okay. There's not really much to say about Traya, is there? Like, is there any special modding you need to do? Like, she just seems like a good, solid character.
Speed and health now. A little bit of offense isn't remiss, but speed. Just speed. Speed, health, and that's about it. Because you need to stay alive. Because she'll get the... I was wrong, as the stacking protection was from her unique. So even then, you could have her as a... secondary pain in the ass. I mean, the crit avoidance is lovely, but you know, just depends on what you want to do Sith wise.
But that's what makes a character like her so good, is like the versatility of you can rotate her into a different role, and let Nihilus go up front, because against the Malgus, them just having flat health, if the protection pool allows Traya's unique to trigger and get the team rolling.
Yeah.
Right. So, do you want to move on to the next character? Well, yeah, it's hard to argue, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because we've kind of gone over with the other two characters, or three.
Now for, not the Lord Vader, but Darth Vader. I also like...
He's a tricky one.
I like how they use the, like, old icon for him. Do you see that? Like, the old icon.
Yeah.
So...
A tier.
It's not really an argument here. He would be S tier if he had his the cooldown datacron still. God, that was nightmare fuel. Just him ramping. Oh, Culling Blade, there goes one character. Oh, Culling Blade, there goes your next one, and you're dead. But Darth Vader,
didn't that datacron just reinstate what he used to be?
Yeah, and that was the problem, is they had nerfed him from his change because he was too good against Rey.
I thought that was the perfect way for Darth Vader, where him and Luke, because Luke could counter SLKR, he could counter Rey.
Yeah.
And they weren't galactic legends, but they kind of got the respect they deserved.
Exactly.
From their ranking in the lore. And I was like, that's the perfect way to do the character.
Yeah. But then, oh, nope, CG came along. How dare your non-galactic legends be killing our galactic legends? How dare you? And then they turn around and release a Reva like 2 years later, but that's besides the point. But you know, I feel like A tier is the best spot. He can't be lower. He is still a force to be reckoned with. Under Afra, he's decent. Under even Lord Vader himself, he's amazing. Because he provides more dots and he has ability block on his basic against Jedi. So
I use Vader with Thrawn and Moff Gideon. I use those 3 against the Omnicron Qui-Gon Jinn team. I have Thrawn, Fracture Anakin, and I send Lord Vader to go take out the team.
Exactly. And that's the other thing, is he's versatile even outside of the Sith. Like, you don't have to run, you can run him with an Empire team, and that's gonna be a lot of problem with some of these later characters, is the tags. So
all I will say is he's the ultimate glass cannon.
Mm-hmm. He's flimsy.
You shit a brick when they get a turn and you're like, please don't hit Lord Vader.
Yeah, my Lord Vader is not perfectly modded for health, but I mean, he's got 65k and it's not bad. He's got a little bit of speed, he could be faster, but...
I don't know, man. Like, 65k sounds like...
Yeah, it ain't a lot anymore.
Sneeze at him.
Yeah. It's just very... If he could be... If they hadn't nerfed non-GL counters for GLs, he'd be S tier with Darth Traya. But we'll be tied to players to have fun. We have to be GLs only and Datacrons that can make some non-GL counters work occasionally, and then they're gone however many months later. So
he's still super irritating though. Like if he's on a Lord Vader team, and it's not going your way, and he enters Merciless Massacre and
he'll
just chucks that saber, he's just like, you frick.
Yeah. I feel like A is the best place for him, because anywhere below would be just disrespectful to him.
But the reason I say A might be a bit too... This is where I think the B.5 tier is great for him.
Yeah, because he's like Darth Revan. Yeah.
Because it's like, he can kill some teams, but kind of like scrubby teams. And when he's part of a bigger team, it's like, is he as good in that team as, say, a Maul? Because if you had Maul and him on the same layer, would you be like, actually, like, Maul
would be above him.
Maul wrecks my fucking day.
Yeah, Maul would be above him. Should I make a
like,
B.5 tier?
No, it's A or B, but if you want to keep him A, it's your list. It's a Sith list at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's just once that A tier starts to fill up with characters, you'll be like, does he really belong there?
I mean, there's not a lot of other characters that can match him. Let's be honest.
In the Sith faction.
Yeah.
Because we'll find out, won't we?
Yeah, but yeah. I mean, next we're going to be going to his master anyways, Emperor Palpatine.
See, I think Palpatine's an A tier purely because of that fucking Star Killer and Mara Jade.
But that's not a Sith team.
Mate, he is the Sith.
But yeah, we can say he's all the Sith too, and we see how garbage he is in the Sith faction.
Yeah, but he doesn't pull a Star Destroyer out the sky.
Yeah.
Emperor Palpatine enables someone to pull a Star Destroyer.
Yeah, but let's be honest, I feel like he's B tier.
B tier.
All of his stuff is... I mean, yes, his leadership has Sith bonuses, max health and potency, but he's mainly used with Starkiller now.
Yep.
So.
But just because he's mainly used with Starkiller, that's like me saying Vader's used with a specific team now.
Yeah. And that's the thing, he's like
it's a pretty good team he's used as part of, though. Like with Mara Jade and Starkiller.
Yeah.
Ouch.
And then we can start splitting hairs really finely with Emperor Palpatine as the thing. Would I be wrong to put him in A? No. Because he is a great character with his AoE stun, his shock that could really cause you issues if you can't get around it, because then if he's on the Starkiller team, like you said, then he starts calling in Starkiller himself to assist. Marr is going to be going as well, so you're just going to start getting looped by those three, and that is a key, trio right there in and of themselves, so...
his leadership's really good for the fact that it gives bonus.
Yeah. It has a
turn meter for the debuffs.
And also the gaining TM whenever a debuff expires. So if he gets shock out on everybody and it stuns them, there's 25% TM. Okay.
And
he starts
when an Empire ally inflicts a debuff during their turn, they gain 20% term meter.
Yeah.
And if Palpatine plays his cards, like if he gets shock on all the enemies,
stuns
then he's
them.
just getting.
Yeah.
It's like, here we go.
So yeah.
You get an A. You get an A. You get an A.
Well, the next one is going to be the only S tier, Lord Vader. But now you're going to heavily discount this because of the way you've seen Lord Vader. But no, Lord Vader is the only S tier Sith in this game.
I can put a good argument of why he's not.
I want to hear it. Shoot.
So, look at all the characters below him.
Yep.
And rate how good they are in comparison to him, considering the cost.
You just mean like cost as a whole?
Yeah, so for example...
unlock and all that, yeah.
Yeah, if I look at Palpatine with the Star Killer team, it's like, I'm having a fun day.
Yep.
If I look at Lord Vader, I'm thinking, look at tier D, look at tier F maybe. Like, this is the shite. I have the relic.
Actually, no, the only thing we have the relic is him. These two are Sidious. These are for Sith Eternal Emperor.
Oh, do you have to do Marauder for Vader?
Nope. That's for Sith Eternal Emperor. Yeah.
What the hell did you do for Lord Vader?
Lord Vader's Rex were really odd. That's
right now, I tried to do my Sith mystical.
Bounty Hunters, Bad Batch, Tusken, Padme, Gas, Embo, Echo, Dooku, Zam,
Moff, this guy's trash. Like, his requirements, you can't even use them with him.
Okay, and?
Bro.
You're getting how many good teams worked up in the meantime? Bad Batch, amazing team. Gas you're going to have done because of his own mission. Padme you're going to have high relic anyways.
Okay, so
Embo's great with Jabba.
Is Lord Vader S tier without Maul?
Yep.
No, he's fucking not.
Okay. You may think that, but yeah, I would.
I'm just spitting the facts. Lord Vader, without a datacron, without Maul, he is getting pantsed.
Not by much.
By every other GL he is.
No.
There he is.
Nope.
The only GL who probably isn't going to put his pants down is Jabba.
And JML. And also C.
No!
JML can't
I
do
wreck
it.
His day.
No.
JML. C can't.
Nope. He can't.
JML can.
Nope. No, we cannot.
That's how I used to kill his ass.
You must be fighting some shit Lord Vaders, and that's the difference between the two of us. You're fighting Lord Vaders and not modded with fucking ass loads of protection, top speed, loads of fucking offense like mine is.
Look at the costs.
I know the cost, and the cost is...
That's the problem. It's like, I've seen Lord Vader get dunked on.
Yeah.
So often. Yeah. It's like,
and that's
okay.
Because of...
And then if...
And that's the biggest problem with Lord Vader, is because people look at the costs and then they look at what can counter him and they're like, do I really want to do it? Well, yes, you get a GL, you get another team that can soak up a lot of shit, and it's just, it is worth it. It is a painful investment, yes, but the rewards, because Lord Vader makes or breaks a lot of people's...
He's not even fun to use.
You're not wrong. His kid takes a long time to ramp up, I'm not going to lie. And because of the way we have like a 5-minute timer, maybe we'll get the fight done or maybe we won't. And that's the crux of him, is his kid.
I want to see footage being played from today of JM's GAC. Like, a prosecution rests its case.
That's also because JM doesn't have high relics on his Lord Vader team. And that is
Are you saying JM's Lord Vader's a bit shit?
Yes, I am. Because that is the biggest thing as Lord Vader. That is the investment. You keep talking about the investment for Lord Vader. So his team gets better with more relics.
1 second, Ginge. You didn't let your GL down. Your GL let himself down because he has a shit Lord Vader.
He has a Relic 5 Maul. You need a Relic 7 or higher. You need Royal Guard Relic 7 or
shit
higher.
Lord Vader. I just want to hear the words. It's not your fault, it's his. Is that correct?
Also, the Datacron that the Jabba had, let's be honest. Fucking assloads of defense doesn't help Lord Vader kill it.
If I knew that was the problem, I'm getting that from my Jabba. It's like, hey, Lord Vader, I've brought defense. You're getting shit.
And that is the biggest problem with Lord Vader's team. It's just him in general, is because he relies on high relics of his entire team. It takes forever for him to juice up, which is stupid as it is, because it's more like, you look at JMK and he gets juiced up in like half the night. A fraction of the time JMK is already juiced up, ready to go. And Lord Vader's still chugging along, maybe halfway down the ult. So the thing is, you have to look at it in the perspective of, do you want to do you want to utilize your resources getting a really solid team, or use it elsewhere on a team that will be great offensively and defensively as well as Lord Vader?
There's so many questions about Lord Vader that I'm like, you can't put him at an S tier. If you look at all the other galactic legends within their faction, you're like, yeah, it elevates that faction.
And that is a problem. That is a problem with Lord Vader. He only elevates Empire and unaligned Force users, which is a problem because of CG. I can't control that CG made the kid like that. I honestly cannot.
But you can control where he goes on the list.
Yeah, and it's gonna stay at S. And C's gonna go way, 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 way down below that. Because in terms of working with his faction, basically, yeah, he doesn't have a lot. I mean, he can do stuff with Set. He can do some sort of shenanigans with the Sith Marauder and Trooper, Darth Vader, but there's not a lot you can work with, obviously. But, in terms as a whole, I know I'm breaking, the whole, concept of this list. I can see why people want to see him A or below. You cannot discount the fact that he is a nightmare to deal with if you're dealing with a properly modded Lord Vader. In terms of working with Sith, he'd be like a B.5.
B.5?
Yeah.
So somehow you've elected to make him S.
Yeah.
Is there a new Datacron coming out that makes him good again?
Protection up, yeah.
Protection up. We'll see how that.
It's a Wampa one. There's also, you can...
Oh, Wampa's back.
Yeah, it's a Wampacron again. The problem is, you cannot roll unaligned Force user stuff like I thought you do. You can't get the protection up and unless I was reading the stuff wrong. I'd have to look at that later. But yeah, no. In terms of Sith, he's B.5. In terms of viability, everywhere else, he is S. Yes, you people can dunk on him pretty damn easily, but you have to mod very, very particularly against Lord Vader. And if you're dealing with a Lord Vader that is modded extremely well like mine is, and has a Datacron that backs him up, or has a team that backs him up with high relics, you're going to have to invest a very hefty sum to kill it. It depends. It is a case-to-case thing for Lord Vader. I feel like it's the best way to describe it.
I was going to say, I think the problem with Lord Vader, it's where the weird factor comes in, because a lot of what I've said against him, you could be like, well, he's a GL, you're going to invest heavy mods into him.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, but I really have to invest the best of the best of the best mods into him. Like Corsmith, best of the best of the best.
Yeah.
Sir, we're modders.
I mean, we can look at my Lord Vader's mods. He's got 26 speed there, 22 there, 24, 26, 23, 22.
But it's not just like the speed, it's also the fact you have to get these great defense rolls, protection rolls.
You just need protection and offense, honestly.
But you've had to get so much to go right for him. Whilst if you look at the other GLs, you think, oh, a JML at Relic 9. Fantastic. Mod him with some protection. His team are going to start putting in the work. JMK, you can have him at Relic 7. You can think, oh, okay, JMK
super fast.
is hard to get rank.
Yeah.
You can go super fast. You can go slow. He's versatile. You're telling me Lord Vader has to hit a certain pinnacle?
That is the problem with Lord Vader. He has to hit very certain thresholds to be S tier. I can drop him to A. I'm not gonna like it.
You need him to S. That's That's your high bar. I'm just saying my piece on it, my problems with it.
I understand it. I see both sides, and I understand because it's just because of CG making the kit the way it is.
I was going to get Obi-Wan being like, then you are lost. And it's like, oh, then you are kind of balanced.
No, I completely understand both sides. It's just, I don't like the way they balance this kit around Maul being one of the key components of his team. So, not even Darth Maul, but the new Maul. So,
yeah.
We got to differentiate that one. So, hello, this is Ginger, post recording all this and everything. We're going to be moving Lord Vader from S tier down to B tier. And this is more just because of, like I said earlier on in the video, is his synergy with the Sith isn't super duper strong and all that. So, while yes, he can be used with some Sith, he's not as great as he would be with the Empire. So, instead of being S tier, even A tier, he'll be about B tier, maybe B plus-ish. I know, it sounds weird, especially after going through the whole rigmarole with Thom about how, yes, he's S tier and all that. He can be at times, but with the Sith as they are, he's better off running with Empire or Maul in particular. But, yeah.
So, on to the next character.
Asajj Opress. And this is an odd one because he's Sith, but Asajj isn't. But, we'll get to her later, maybe. I don't know. Depends on how much I want to leave in this. But, Asajj is a very interesting case because with his Omicron, he can solo a good chunk of teams because of his protection.
What teams can he solo? Because my one never seems to work like that. I found a good place for him, but...
Yeah, teams he can solo, I think it depends on what you're throwing him against. I've seen him apparently work against CLS. I don't know how people have managed that one because of the damage output not being high. It may just be more modding issue with him.
Yeah.
Now you're making me try to remember what other teams it can do, honestly. I quite honestly can't tell you, because I know he can. The problem is his modding. It comes down to modding for Asajj. So...
I think he's a great little lifter tune. That Omicron makes him a good lift.
Yeah. Like the Omni... before the Omni, he was a solid C-ish tier character. Maybe like a very high D tier. Because his leadership is decent, with the whole defense and all that, yada yada.
Yeah.
But with the Omni now, I'd probably put him at like a B.5 like we've done. Not the same level as like Revan and Darth Vader, but he's like right below them in terms of capabilities now. Because that Omni of his, and if you pair with a couple other ones, like these two, you are running into a nightmare of a team because you've got him giving everyone protection up whenever he's critically hit. And that is the problem, is because he's gaining defense, max health, and offense on top of 30 base speed. And then whenever he gets critically hit, he's gaining more offense, health steal. Everyone else is gaining health steal and offense, and they're recovering health and protection. And he's gaining TM. So...
the one thing about Savage, and I wish they would do this, is I always used to think that his second move was a could not be revived move. If it had could not be revived,
it would make him very, very, very... It'd put him at A plus tier. It'd make him extremely good. But that's the thing, like his kit is ancient. This dude is like one of the original characters in the game. He is old as old can be. And he was like I think he was the first character I Zeta'd.
I used to love, like, they drop below 50% and you'd be like, dunk,
womp, and there
they go. And you're like, the problem with so many revives, it almost seems worthless.
Yeah.
Not worthless, it still kills the guy. But usually when someone's in the yellow, they're in danger anyway because you've got a protection bar. In the day when it was like just a health bar, okay, that was nasty. But now you've got to get through so much to get to the yellow to do that.
And that's on top
By that point, you're like, I'm probably killing them regardless with someone else.
Because because of all the protection, and then there's protection recovery, there's damage immunity, there's this and that. There's so much he has to get through. Yeah. So it's just, he is a very good character now. With his Ami, I'd put him at A, honestly. Or like I said, like a B.5 or B+, whatever. But his kit, it's the attacks that are very limiting is the problem. His unique is astounding. The brute one, the one with the Ami.
Yeah.
It's just his attacks need to have something,
But I guess that's how it works on being a tank and gaining offense.
He's not even a tank. He's an attacker. That's the thing. He's built like a tank. He's built like a tank, but he's an attacker.
That's why we had to give him the dodgy Mace Windu taunt.
Yeah. And I mean,
at least he has that.
I mean, I have mine modded for loads of health. I know some people. That's the other thing. Modding is very, very situational with him. How you want to have him modded. I have mine modded for health and defense. Oh, health. Primaries, defense sets.
I actually think they made him attacker because if he was built like a tank with the correct stats,
he would be a nightmare. He would be a nightmare to kill. Because
just his turn meter, health recovery gain,
protection. That protection recovery, and then the fact that he gained turn meter, 100% turn meter immediately. I thought I was gonna kill him. No, no.
Oh, there I go. I am out.
Yeah, it was it's like the fight I did with him, and that Starkiller scene was him leading it. Remember with my Iden, we timed out because of it. Because every time we'd crit with him, 100% TM. There he goes again. Okay, well we almost got him. Death mark? Nope, he cleansed that. Because that's the other thing, he cleanses debuffs off himself.
They don't even blow the bastard up. And that's another part of his kit I used to like, kind of, where he would take the debuffs from his allies.
And then he'd put them on himself.
Yeah, I was like, oh, you're such a pain in the ass.
Well, now you're making me rethink it.
No, I think B tiers are out right for him.
Yeah.
Because he needs that Omnicron to kind of stand out. But then, if you was to gauge his Omnicron, if you look at A tier, are you doing his Omnicron above Malgus, Traya, Talon?
I do it before Talons in a heartbeat.
Okay.
Talons is great, but it has to be, you have to do it with the Sith trio. Savage is plug and play.
Yeah.
Because he's not limited to you need Isolate and Pain like Talon. Use this Savage. He goes...
If Darth Revan and Savage was on B.5, who's going up, who's going down? Out of the two of them, who's better?
In the current game right now, Savage is. And it's just because he's plug and play. Revan, without being him, if he's not in the leadership, he struggles. Because if he's not in the leadership, like we said earlier, he's not as great.
Yeah. So would you end up just switching them around? Because if you're telling me you would rate him above Revan and Revan's in an A tier, then that doesn't make sense. Hello?
I'm thinking.
Oh, I thought your computer crashed.
Oh no, you would have seen a Discord message me just nothing. You're making me think, because I can see where you're coming from. The way the game is right now, I can definitely concur with that. If it had been...
Well, we're judging it off without judging it off 2 years ago. We're judging it off now.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because now Savage has way more versatility and usage than Revan does. Because if Revan is not leading the Sith Empire, he is regulated to a support role. He's still very good. But the problem is that Malgus leadership is better than him. So,
and you can't even chuck Darth Revan with Lord Vader, can you?
No. I mean, okay, you can for some sort of cheese with the fear from his AoE. Not AoE, but his second special where he does the leap. But Vader would just AoE and cleanse the fear off. So it's kind of oh, okay.
Yeah, actually, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so who next? Oh God.
Yeah, this one is a very odd one. We usually look at her kit first because she needs a unique. And that's been her problem since day one, is everything has been on abilities. Like, she doesn't have a unique, and that's the biggest problem with Sith Assassin. She has a decent kit, though. I mean, if she has stealth, she'll be ignoring your protection. That's pretty bad. And then whenever she does Dark Shroud, she'll be, if she already has stealth, she gains tenacity up and speed up for 2 turns, and then everyone gains TM for each buff on her. 12% per buff. So that's pretty damn good. The Electrocute, which is a lightning throw one, is pretty good as well, because if she has stealth, she dispels all of them on herself. She deals 5% more damage for each buff dispelled, and for each living Sith ally, and you get to ignore the protection. The problem...
She used to have a nice cheese with Savage, where she'd knock him down to yellow and hit cut him.
Yeah. The problem right now is she doesn't have a unique, and that is the biggest problem that's been in her kit since day one. Like, she has usability at times, but not often enough.
Mate, she has a ship, and it sucks.
Well, her ship's about to get better with the fleet, so maybe she'd be a D+, but it depends on...
Is it going to get better, or is it just going to be like a TIE Reaper that just isn't used anymore?
I feel like, well, it's going to be a key component of the fleet.
We'll have to see it in action, because sometimes you get a fleet where they just need 2 of the ships or so.
No, it is going to be a key part of it, because of the, what is it? This stuff right here with the basic from the Fury class interceptor.
What I'm saying is you'll have that ship, and they're releasing 2 more, right?
I believe on top of the Leviathan, yes.
Yep, so there's 2 more coming, because you'll need them to unlock the Leviathan. And you start off with 3 ships. You only need 3 ships to get all of Malgus's.
The Fury class.
Malgus's allies special. Because Sith Empire counters 2, right? Sith and Sith Empire.
Yep.
So as soon as that happens, is her ship just going to be the odd one out, and you're like, I'd rather take someone like Plo Koon or someone else and reinforcements?
I think it'll come down to is what those other ships do.
Yeah.
That'll be the biggest.
We know what hers does.
Yeah, which
is
jack shit, but I mean, yeah.
Also, guess what? She continues to do jack shit.
Yeah. And I had to Relic 7 her for platoons.
she goes in with the Mace Windu fleet, where you just need someone to try and
clean up or something.
It's like, I'm desperate. Here's my box of scraps.
It's like, please stop. Please don't kill this. I need to kill someone on your fleet. Please let me, please. But yeah, I don't know. We'll leave her at D. We'll see what
That's all we need to say about her. Let's get on to the next dude.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna have to preface it. We'll see what the Sith Empire fleet does.
Okay.
That's all. But
be continued.
Yeah, Sith Empire Trooper. I covered this guy extensively in that video where I was talking about characters I want added to the game. It's because he's from the Sith Eternal Empire, not Revan's Empire.
Wow.
Yeah, if you look up the cinematic trailers for KOTOR, and you'll see this guy, Sith Eternal Empire, not Darth Revan's Sith Empire. Yeah. Oh god, he is a very odd, not odd, he has a very simplistic kit, let's be completely honest. It may need a touch-up, honestly, kind of, sort of.
It was effective for what it was, though.
Yeah. He has 100% defense, which is pretty damn stellar. He has a nice chunk of base protection, which is prudent. He can also gain a ton whenever his gets dispelled. His attack ignores protection, both of them do. But honestly, he needs something to be better. So
He used to be pretty annoying back in the day, because he was
the Sith Empire tree. Yeah.
He was one of the rare characters that taunted from the off.
Yep. Pre-taunt. And he has usage still to this day because of his pre-taunt with like like even random Empire teams, or even a Lord Vader team, not really, kind of, because there's so many other pre-taunts for Empire and Lord Vader, but
he has so much more use than Sith Assassin.
Oh yeah. But I would put him above her, like even above Dooku. I need to move him there.
Yeah.
But he's like a D and a half, close to C. Actually, I might split him at C because he's below Sion in usage, but he's above these 3 in usage currently. That's the best way to describe it. He could be better. He needs something to make him better. Or he needs a new home. I think that's the problem. He needs a new home.
Like I said, he's a character you pick off the shelf because he's useful. You can chuck him with Lord Vader. You can chuck him with C.
Yeah.
Like, he serves a purpose. The other ones, you're thinking, well, you're just there, aren't you?
Yeah. Look at these mods. I sliced them up way back when, but there's loads of protection and tenacity on them, so yeah, they're garbage.
He doesn't need great mods.
No.
He doesn't need much. He serves his purpose.
He's a tank. He does what's needed.
And considering the game is built on speed, he has an ability that bypasses that.
Yep.
So, okay. Big one. This is going to be an interesting one. Okay.
I don't have to explain. Okay, this will make you annoyed because of the whole, Lord Vader doesn't have a lot of synergy with Sith. Yeah. C doesn't have any synergy at all with them. He kills them off. He doesn't let them revive, which is completely negates. Yeah, negates Darth Sion's whole shtick. It negates Darth Talon's thing somewhat. I mean, it stops it. It doesn't stop it the first time whenever she does the revive to keep him alive, but then if she does it, if someone dies, they're permanently dead. His best team is literally everywhere else. And we've lost Watt to Trench. Armor is going to be used in...
Have we really lost Watt to Trench?
Kind of, sort of, yes and no. It just depends on if you really care about Trench or not, let's be honest. But C does not work with his own faction. He does less... Okay, he does slightly less than Lord Vader in terms of working with the Sith, but he openly and completely just decimates his faction. But yeah, he gives decent stat boosts to the Sith, sure. They get doubled the mastery, potency, and speed, but he doesn't provide anything else. There's no protection, there's no health, no boost to nothing. They die, he gets 100% protection and health, and then that's it. He doesn't gain their stats. He doesn't gain jack shit from them dying. It's very stupid. And I hate...
How much easier is it to get him, though?
Oh, he's the easiest GL to get in the game.
So, do you think that levels some of it out, though?
Maybe, but at the same time, no. It gives you inroads to a very good Imperial Trooper team and the Executor fleet, I'll give you that. You have overlap between him and Lord Vader with Count Dooku. Maul will be needed for the Scimitar and whatever. But yeah.
Okay, so
in terms of offense, in terms of offensive capabilities, he's S tier beyond all, no doubt. In terms of
offensive capabilities,
defensive capabilities, no, he's not even on the list.
Okay, but on offense,
he can kill. Let's see, he can kill JMK with specific teams that doesn't even have Sith in it. He can kill JML with teams that don't have Sith in it. He can kill Rey with teams that don't have Sith in it. He can't kill Kylo, Jabba, and Lord Vader, or even himself at times.
But you don't really see Kylo on... Do you see Kylo on defense a lot?
I personally don't. We've seen him a couple times, depending on datacrons, but not really, no, not anymore.
Yeah, I don't tend to run into him, because he's the guy you send in as a wrecking ball.
Yeah.
And he can kill Rey with Ben. That's a good one. That's a great counter.
If he can survive, and that's a team that don't have Sith in it. Not a single one.
But when you think about it, if he had to pull all these Sith characters, then you're pulling off extra defensive teams, aren't you?
Yep.
Could you imagine if you had to take him with Malgus? It's great, I don't really need Malgus with him, but now I'm just taking him for sake of it.
I will say...
wouldn't you say that's an advantage, that he doesn't have to pull so many teams apart?
He already pulls teams apart. He
Which
takes
one?
Armorer, he takes away the Great Geo Brood Alpha, he takes away Watt from Trench, kind of, in Territory War, but we don't care about that.
How important are they? Because when you say, like, GBA, you think...
Freeton. From the...
I know, but what I'm saying about Ginge is you pull
Geos are
GBA
really
from
good.
the Geos.
Yeah.
If Geos kind of lost it now, like...
Not with the Datacron.
They got a new Datacron.
They have a Datacron with a new set, yeah.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yep. And on top of the Poggles on me, but that's only for Territory War, so it doesn't really matter. That's not a part of this conversation. My biggest complaint is this right here. They can't be revived.
Well, you're going to have to use Daka to bring him back anyway, right?
You can't do that anyways. If a Sith dies on his team, they cannot be revived.
That's what I mean, though, is for that to happen, like, he would have needed someone who can revive on his team to bring anyone back.
Sion, Traya, not Traya, but Talon. I was trying to say earlier, it's like, I know someone said a knight...
hatred doesn't activate?
Nope.
Okay.
He dies, that breaks apart that. I know someone said a very nasty Sith C team with, I believe it was these four and then him, the Sith trio, Talon and him, and it like ruined Skelly's day. I know Aesop did it as well. So, but that was with a certain Datacron and all that. So it's like been there, done that kind of thing. So.
Okay.
So I mean, offensively, S tier, beyond not a shadow of doubt. Defensively, he has no defensive capabilities. And that's what I look for in a GL. And if you can't make a team work with your own faction, even less so than Lord Vader, you don't deserve to have the tag.
Wow.
Like, Lord Vader can make things work a little bit more better than C can. C doesn't even gain the stats from the Sith that die on his watch. He just absorbs 100% health and protection and keeps going on about his own business.
I think that's a bit harsh on C, but fair enough. You use him, I don't. I've seen Rey wipe the floor with him.
And that's the other thing, like, I don't have him, I have him modded, I could have him better health, like more health, but like, even like 180k health, like that's still not enough to stop Rey at times, you know? 180.
Not gonna stop a 400k hit.
Exactly. I mean, he gets, yeah. It is what it is. He could be way better. He's in the most dire need of a lifter.
Yeah.
Why did we get Ben before him? Before a lifter for C? I don't fucking know. Rey didn't need it. Kylo doesn't need one.
She got it, and I'm good with it.
She really did not need Ben Solo, and that pisses me off beyond all belief. But that's for another day.
Maybe C will get one soon.
I doubt it.
You've only got to wait 2 more months.
2 more years.
Oh god.
5 years later, here's the lifter for C.
Shall we go into the next character then?
Yeah. Sith Marauder is a very interesting but simplistic character. He, even to this day, he has some usage because of his unique. The fact that he actually even has unique is impressive because the Sith Assassin was released the same time as him doesn't. But I mean, he gains stats for both buffs and debuffs, which is impressive. And then he gets TM whenever anyone uses an ability outside of their turn. So, but the thing is, I don't know. He's not B tier like these guys. He's more like kind of around the same usage as the Sith Empire Trooper.
Like, he can hit hard.
He can hit very hard.
He can one-shot a guy, and nobody on the D tier outside of the GL has that power.
Yeah, because it also, if it scores a crit hit, he's reducing the target's max health by 50%. So, and look at the base damage right there, like whenever he hits. So, yeah.
And obviously, if he's on a team with a lot of Darth Revans
buffs and debuffs and all that, yeah. And then the fact they had to push in Relic 7 anyways will have you close to like 9k or more offense anyways, so...
Yeah, like a nice C tier team for like, you know, not a very complicated kit.
Yeah.
That's nice.
He has a very simple kit that hasn't really needed to been touched and since it's been released, honestly.
Yeah. The next character is going to be interesting, I think.
But this is also the last actual Sith.
It's funny though, isn't it?
Yeah, Sith
like
Trooper.
How he gets a Sith tag.
Like, of all the characters in the game, even like the last 3 that I want to talk about at the end, like, don't have Sith, but he does. He's a very odd dude. Like, he's not bad. His AoE can do some pretty good damage if people start getting killed and he takes a turn. But he's, you know, it does 50% more based off of, you know, First Order or Sith allies.
This is where it gets tricky, though.
Yeah.
Is...
You're more using
We all
him,
know what team he works in.
Yeah, First Order. But in Sith, he can somewhat work, is the thing. Not as good as in First Order, though, is the problem. Okay.
Like, I like him in Conquest whenever I have to do a Sith feat. I'm like, oh, I can use Lobster Boy.
Yeah, because you already have him Relic 5 anyways for SLKR, so...
And he assists a lot, which is annoying.
Yeah, that's...
And many cleanses and starts nuking people.
I mean, yeah, it's only once per turn, but I mean, it's really good. It's a really solid kit.
Yeah.
But
once per turn, it's not like it's per character turn, not like per one of his turns. So Sidious takes a turn, he can assist.
Yeah, but it has to be a crit hit or a stun, so it's a very specific.
Yeah, but that's quite good for someone like Palpatine teams.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know where to put him, is the thing, honestly. He's very good. In First Order, he'd be like a B+ tier. In Sith, I don't know. You'd be a little lower than that, honestly. Maybe like a low B.
I think C.
Yeah.
Because in a pure Sith team, he's not doing much, is he?
He's got damage, he's got a cleanse, which is nice.
But you think about it, and you think about where you're taking him from.
Yeah,
like
you're taking him away from the best team he could have been in.
Yeah, like what am I smoking? But I'm taking him away from Supreme Leader Kylo Ren.
Yeah, but would he be above Sion or below him? I feel like he'd
probably be below Marauder.
Below Marauder,
just purely because of the Sith team synergies. Like,
I see what you mean.
Marauder's gonna work in a Sith team.
These two will work well together. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you like throw in Sith Trooper, and you're like, okay.
I'm like, I really want you to build up my Supreme Leader Kylo Ren ultimate ability.
It's like, I need you elsewhere.
Question: if Supreme Leader Kylo Ren was a Sith Lord, where does he go and how does he affect this list? Because there's no way Lord Vader stays in S tier if Supreme Leader Kylo Ren's on this list, right?
Kylo would be his own tier. He'd be above Lord Vader.
So you'd have to put Lord Vader on the A tier, right?
No, I'd make another tier above it.
It's like, I want to keep Lord Vader at S tier, so I'm going to have to make a new tier.
I mean, yeah, let's be honest. Kylo, he's had like one nerf and that's about it.
Did he?
Yeah, to his unique.
I thought he got buffed.
No,
I didn't know he got
unique. Way back when, they had to change his unique because of the fact that he was steamrolling the hell out of Rey, like super hard. Or did I scroll right past it? No, I didn't. Sorry.
I remember he used to make people. Oh, there you go. Everbound.
It's
he
because
used to make people cry.
It's because of this.
Over raids.
It was this. It was his prestige advantage because it used to be they'd only. It was I can't remember what it was. They had to change for his prestige advantage thing, but yeah. If SLKR was a true Sith, he'd be above Lord Vader. Like,
I'm sure they had to buff Supreme Leader Kylo Ren because he was getting dunked on.
No, I don't think they've had.
Rey was wiping the floor with him, and so they had to buff. they had to buff him because the buff made him a bit more difficult to deal with Rey's ultimate tier.
But then the fact that she
it
can
used
still
to be like, oh, just wipe the floor with
she
him.
can still
But
nuke
now
him
it's
with
like,
a fucking whirlwind is ridiculous. Rey is so busted.
To be fair, Rey can be dealt with. Like, strategically, Rey can be...
Yeah, but if you let her go too long, she becomes a nightmare.
I know, but you usually don't want to let anyone go on too long.
Yeah. Should we cover the last three real quick? Get this
Go for it.
So the three, not really honorable, I mean, I guess they are honorable mentions about Sith. The one that really comes to mind, I know you even asked me, like, why the hell is Asajj not a Sith, but Savage is? I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I legitimately don't know. I mean, they were both apprentices to Dooku. Why is one a Sith and the other isn't? Like, she should be a Sith, like 100%. But I think it's more like the kit tags and all that is the problem.
Well, you wouldn't want to take her away from a Night Sister team, would you?
Yeah. No. Would it be nice to have like something like built in to have her and Dooku work together somehow? Yeah, but I mean, like, would I I mean, you can take her away from Night Sisters now, kind of, with Merrin being in the game, but yeah. Would I do it? Not until I have Merrin relicked, I wouldn't, but even then I'd probably still keep Asajj with the Night Sisters. Because of her AoE and the heal that she can do that cleanses all the buffs on the enemy team. So, but yes, that one's that's a head scratcher of why she isn't tagged as a Sith. I don't know. Would it be cool? Yeah. I don't understand why she isn't, but yeah.
Who next?
We're gonna leave him alone for now. We're gonna go with Visas. Visas should have been a Sith. I don't know why she isn't. She was Nihilus's...
I like how she's got anti-Sith synergies.
Yeah, it's really weird. Like, she was Nihilus's apprentice because he killed her planet and left her alive. And then, like, she's not a Sith? The hell? Like...
I love how her best team is working under a Sith Lord, though.
Exactly. Like, she works best under Palpatine, but not with her own master. Go figure. I think there's more just, it's the same with Asajj, like, gameplay thing, you know?
Do you know why she doesn't have synergy with Darth Nihilus? Because imagine her reviving Darth Nihilus in a Traya-led team.
Oh, that'd be a nightmare. It'd be fun, but it'd be a nightmare. Because she is a little flimsy, though, let's be honest. She's not, the strongest character.
I know, but imagine having to get through Savage Opress, Sion, to get to her, whilst the other team's just nuking you, and she's healing the team with their health steal. You finally kill Sion, she brings him
and
back,
she has
you finally kill
counterattack
Savage,
anyways against
brings him
Sith,
back.
so...
Oh man, that would be filthy, and we all know it.
Yeah.
As soon as CG flip the switch and be like, Sith, it's like she's here to play.
And then she has a Datacron now. I don't know why of all the characters we have to get a Datacron in this set, she has one along with Marr. Like,
what's her supposed to do?
It is a really jank one. Let me see if I can get it pulled up real quick. Okay, so hers is right here. She gains 15% turn meter whenever other allies use a special ability on their turn, which goes really well hand in hand with the Starkiller team. But then you have the Marr Jade one, which is better.
Oh, that's a bit shit, isn't it?
Yeah, like, look at the Marr...
somebody on the team already.
Yeah, look at the Marr Jade one. Whenever it's not Emperor Palpatine's turn, she gains a stack of Loyal Hand. And then whenever an ally with 100% less than 100% turn meter gains bonus hammer, they gain stacking, crit chance, and crit damage for a turn. And whenever an enemy is inflicted with shock, they take damage equal to 10% of their max health. Why would you want the Marr Jade Datacron over the Visas Marr one? Like, why would you want the Visas... I meant the other way. Why would you want the Visas Marr one over the Marr's? So...
There's sometimes you can't get the free pack one, so at least you can get another one that works.
Fucking you and me both. God damn, that set made me mad. Okay, so... the last one is just because of gameplay issues. Maul.
What would be the gameplay issues?
I honestly don't know. Ask CG. I mean, okay, thematically, whenever this variant of Maul is whenever after he was reborn, without the spider legs on Dathomir. So this is like him, Death Watch era.
Yeah.
You know, where he's taking over with the Shadow Collective, like forming that and all that stuff. So he's not a Sith in name. He still has Sith tendencies, yes, but he's not the apprentice of Darth Sidious. Count Dooku is. So
does he have the Darksaber in game?
Yeah. That's why whenever he gets killed, whoever killed him gets the Darksaber buff.
Wait, he does?
Ned.
I always thought he had the double-bladed.
No, he has the double-bladed lightsaber. He doesn't actually use it. See, it's the Mandalore buff they get whenever he's the leader.
That's a bit rubbish, that is.
Yeah.
If he's got the Mandalore, he should have
use the Darksaber somehow on one of his abilities.
Yeah.
That'd been so cool, but no.
He should be able to mix and match.
Yeah.
Like, one attack does, the double-bladed lightsaber, and the other attack does. Might be a bit special seeing him switch and change all the time.
Yeah. Oh, like alternate what he's using. And yes, I moved C up to C because,
C and C makes sense.
Yeah. He could
C
be
on C.
if he had better synergy with the Sith as a whole, if the two GLs that we have for the Sith had better synergy with their faction instead of outside units, it'd be fine. But Lord Vader's more of an Empire GL anyways, and he relies way too heavily on Maul, so but I'd still use him way more often than I do C, and I've relied heavily on him for defensive holds and offensive capabilities, because C, if he gets killed, because he's rather flimsy, but anyways, yeah.
Well, that works for me. Any closing thoughts, Ginge, on this 2-hour epic?
No, closing thoughts for this. Sith Assassin, Darth Maul, and Darth Sidious and Count Dooku need reworks.
My closing thoughts are the Sith don't have an S tier character.
That's because you never fought my Lord Vader then. But it's fair, I understand why. It's because he's more Empire and all that than actual Sith.
It's nuts, isn't it? Because if you was to open this to the wider game, I wonder where Lord Vader tumbles down to, because you start to compare him to the other GLs.
Compared to the
like
other...
you already did with Kylo, and you're like, Kylo's on the tier called GL?
In terms of GLs, I'd put Lord Vader... Let's see, it'd be... At the very top would be... Oh god, that'd be a toss-up for the top, because it's a 4-way tie between Jabba, JMK, Kylo, and Rey. So one of those 4 up there, and then Lord Vader, Lord Vader JML would be right after them, and then C at the bottom.
I would put SLKR on the same tier as JML. SLKR can do Lord Vader, and he can do C, but he does get minced by JMK.
Yeah, if you're using Kylo versus JMK, you're a fool. But he also he can decimate Jabba, he can decimate Rey, he can decimate C as well, so...
I do see him struggle a bit though, like his battles are never like, oh, it's
cut
a breeze.
Yeah,
it's if my team die before I get some damage out and I don't get ultimate fast, this is gonna suck.
Yeah. One more change for the end of this video. We're gonna be moving C from C tier up to B. Like I said in my update earlier on in this video with Lord Vader, C, he works well with Sith, yes, but like I said in the video earlier in the video, his problem is he heavily decimates the Sith faction. He does not. I wish he could just absorb their health and like stats and all, like a 5 sacrifice does, but for the 501st, but no, we do not have that. And C, between him and Lord Vader, it'd be a toss-up, like who's the better of the two Sith GLs. I mean, both have their usages, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I mean, offensively and defensively, Lord Vader has an edge. Offensively, C is also really good, but defensively, C does not have any sort of viability. Let's be completely frank about that. But yeah, And if y'all enjoyed, stuck through this whole video, don't forget to hit like and hit subscribe and all that fun stuff. And thank you for listening or even watching the video as I rambled on for an hour and 40 something minutes about Sith. But yeah.